Admiral Kyung-min Park stood in the transport shuttle, watching the massive alien station grow larger through the small window. Nexus Prime was unlike anything he had ever seen. The station was the size of a small moon, covered in towers that twisted and curved in impossible ways. Lights of every color moved across its surface like living things. "Sir, we will arrive at the docking bay in 5 minutes," said Lieutenant Jin-Ho Kim, the shuttle pilot. His voice was nervous. Everyone on the shuttle was nervous. Park nodded but did not look away from the window. This was humanity's first official meeting with the Galactic Council. Earth had been trying to make contact with alien civilizations for over 50 years. When the Council finally responded to their messages, Park had been chosen to represent all of humanity. The shuttle moved through a field of energy that made Park's skin tingle. Then they were inside the station. The docking bay was enormous. Ships of strange shapes floated in the air without any visible support. Some ships looked like they were made of crystal. Others seemed to be alive, with skin that moved and breathed. "Welcome to Nexus Prime," said a voice in perfect English. A tall, thin alien appeared on the shuttle's screen. Its skin was blue and covered in patterns that glowed softly. "I am Dock Controller Vexilani. Please follow the guidance lights to your assigned area." The shuttle followed a line of golden lights to a small platform. As soon as they landed, Park felt the artificial gravity change. Everything felt lighter, easier to move. Park wore his best military dress uniform. The blue fabric was covered in medals and ribbons that showed his 30 years of service in the Earth Space Force. Behind him walked Dr. So Ra-Yoon, Earth's best linguist, and Commander Tae-Jun Han, a military advisor. "Remember," Park said quietly to his team as they walked toward the station entrance, "we are here to show them that humanity is ready to join the galactic community. Stay calm, be respectful, and let me do most of the talking." The corridor they entered was bigger than any building on Earth. The ceiling was so high that clouds formed near the top. Aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through the space. Some walked on legs like humans, others floated in the air. A few moved like liquid flowing across the floor. Park tried not to stare, but it was impossible. One alien looked like a walking tree with eyes all over its bark. Another was made of what appeared to be living metal that constantly changed shape. A group of small aliens with too many arms chittered at each other in high voices. "Follow me, humans," said a new voice. Park turned to see an alien approaching them. This one was taller than Park and had skin like polished stone. Its eyes were completely black, and when it spoke, its mouth did not move. The words seemed to come from the air around it. "I am Guide Morthek. The Council is ready to see you." They walked through more corridors that seemed to go on forever. The walls showed pictures that moved like videos, but the images were of places and things that Park could not understand. He saw cities built inside stars, creatures that swam through space, and machines that were larger than planets. "The Council has existed for 47,000 of your Earth years," Morthek said as they walked. "We have guided the development of civilizations across this galaxy. We have prevented wars, shared knowledge, and maintained peace." "That sounds wonderful," Park replied. "Humanity would be honored to contribute to such a noble cause." Morthek made a sound that might have been laughter. "Contribute? Small human, you do not understand. You are here to be evaluated. The Council will decide if your species is worth our attention." Dr. Yoon stepped closer to Park. "Sir," she whispered, "the translation device is picking up conversations around us. Some of these aliens are talking about us. They don't seem impressed." Park nodded but kept walking. He had expected this. Humanity was new to space travel. Their ships were slow compared to what he had seen in this station. Their weapons were primitive. Their technology was thousands of years behind what the Council possessed. But humans had something else. They had survived ice ages and plagues. They had built civilizations and destroyed them and built them again. They had learned to work together despite their differences. Park hoped the Council would see this strength. They entered a chamber so large that Park could not see the other side. The ceiling disappeared into darkness above them. In the center of the room was a circle of platforms, each one holding a different type of alien. "Behold," said Morthek, "the Galactic Council." Park had studied files about the Council members, but seeing them in person was different. The Velkari representative sat on a platform made of crystal. Its body was also crystal, and light moved through it in patterns that hurt to look at directly. The Threnody representative was actually 5 aliens that shared one mind. They looked like giant insects with too many legs and wings that buzzed constantly. The Zephyrian representative was the strangest of all. It had no solid body, just energy that moved in the shape of a person. When it spoke, the air around it glowed with different colors. "Humans," said the Velkari representative. Its voice sounded like music, but cold music without feeling. "We are Counselor Veltharian. We have observed your species for some time. Thank you for this opportunity," Park said, bowing slightly. "Humanity is eager to learn from your wisdom and contribute to galactic peace." The Threnody insects clicked their legs together. The sound was like laughter, but not friendly laughter. "Contribute?" they said in unison. "What could a species that still burns chemical fuel possibly contribute to us?" Park felt his face grow warm, but he kept his voice steady. "Humanity may be young in space, but we have shown remarkable adaptability. We have survived challenges that would have destroyed other species. We learn quickly and work well together. Learn quickly." The Zephyrian's energy body pulsed with what looked like amusement. "Humans, you have existed as a technological species for barely 200 of your years. We have civilizations that have remained stable for millions of years. You call starting fires and hitting things with sticks adaptability." Dr. Yoon stepped forward. "If I may, honored counselors, humanity has developed space travel, nuclear technology, and global communication networks in less than a century. Our rate of advancement is unprecedented." "Unprecedented and dangerous," said a new voice. Another alien floated toward them. This one looked like a jellyfish made of light. "I am Counselor Zaylin of the Ethereal Collective. Your species fights constant wars. You destroy your own environment. You cannot even agree on how to govern a single planet." Commander Han spoke up. "With respect, Counselor, those challenges have made us stronger. We have learned to overcome differences and work together when faced with greater threats." The council members looked at each other. Park could not read their expressions, but he sensed they were communicating in ways humans could not detect. Finally, the Velkari counselor spoke again. "We have reviewed your species' history. You have had over 5,000 years to develop stable government. Instead, you have constant conflict. You have had the knowledge to end hunger and disease for decades, yet millions of your people still suffer. You poison your own air and water for short-term gain. We are working to fix these problems," Park said. "Humanity has made great progress in recent years. We have reduced global conflicts and begun healing our environment." "Recent years," repeated the Threnody. "You measure progress in years. We measure it in millennia. Your great progress is invisible to us." The Zephyrian's energy form brightened. "Let us discuss your technology, humans. Your fastest ships require months to travel between planets in your own system. Our cargo vessels move faster than your military rockets. Your weapons are based on chemical explosives and metal projectiles. We manipulate matter at the atomic level." Park knew this was true, but he tried to stay positive. "We understand we have much to learn. That is why we seek membership in the Council. We want to grow and improve with your guidance." "Guidance requires potential," said Counselor Jalen. "Our analysis shows that your species would require approximately 847 standard cycles to develop faster than light travel on your own. Your mathematical understanding is primitive. Your energy production is inefficient. Your materials science is barely beyond stone tools." Dr. Yoon looked at her tablet, which was recording everything. "Our computers show incredible promise. Our artificial intelligence research is advancing rapidly. Our quantum physics theories are revolutionary." The council chamber filled with sounds that Park realized was laughter, not just from the 3 counselors, but from dozens of other aliens watching from higher platforms. "Quantum physics," said Veltharian, its crystal body flashing with bright colors. "Small humans, we mastered quantum manipulation before your son was born. Your revolutionary theories are basic concepts that our children learn in their early education cycles. Your computers," added the Threnody, "are slower than the biological brains of our simplest organisms. Your artificial intelligence could not manage a single deck on this station." Park felt his team's mood sinking, but he pressed on. "Perhaps our technology is primitive by your standards, but we have other qualities. Humans are creative. We think in ways that other species might not. We find solutions to impossible problems. Creativity." The Zephyrian pulsed with what might have been curiosity. 5 years had passed since Admiral Kyungmin Park returned to Earth, with news that crushed the hopes of every human on the planet. The Galactic Council had rejected humanity, calling them primitive and unworthy. But instead of giving up, something unexpected happened. Earth united like never before. Director Hai-Wan Kim stood in the command center of the Terran Defense Initiative, looking at screens that showed construction projects all over the solar system. Massive shipyards orbited Earth, Mars, and Jupiter. Research stations worked day and night to solve problems that the Alien Council thought would take humanity thousands of years to figure out. "Director Kim," said her assistant, Captain Yong-Soo Park. "Dr. Lee is ready to present his latest findings." Kim nodded and walked to the main conference room. The past 5 years had changed her from a simple military officer into the leader of humanity's greatest project. Every nation on Earth had contributed money, people, and resources to the Terran Defense Initiative. For the first time in human history, the entire planet was working toward a single goal. Dr. Sung-Ho Lee waited in the conference room with a smile on his face. The physicist was young, barely 30 years old, but his mind worked in ways that amazed everyone around him. Behind him stood his research team, all looking excited about something. "Director," Dr. Lee said, "we have made a breakthrough that changes everything." Kim sat down at the table. Around her were the leaders of humanity's response to the Council's rejection. Admiral Park, now older and bearing the weight of his humiliation, sat quietly in the corner. General Min Soo-young represented Earth's military forces. Dr. Yoon-hee Choi led the research divisions. Commander Jin A-sung managed the construction projects. "What have you discovered?" Kim asked. Dr. Lee activated a holographic display that showed complex mathematical equations. "We have been studying the alien technology we observed during Admiral Park's visit to Nexus Prime. For years we tried to copy what we saw. But we were thinking about the problem wrong." He touched the display, and the equations changed into a three-dimensional model of swirling energy. "Every alien species we observed uses technology based on their natural biology. The crystal beings use light and vibration because that is how they communicate. The energy beings manipulate matter because they are pure energy themselves. The insect species work together because they share a collective mind." "So?" asked General Yang. "What does this mean for us?" "It means we should not try to copy them," Dr. Lee said, his voice growing excited. "We should develop technology based on human biology. And humans have something no other species in the galaxy has." Dr. Choi leaned forward. "What is that?" "Our brains process quantum information differently than any known species. We discovered this by accident while trying to interface with captured alien communication devices. Human neural patterns create quantum entanglement in ways that should be impossible." Admiral Park looked up from his corner. "Explain it in simple terms, Doctor." Dr. Lee smiled. "We can think our way through space and time. While aliens build machines to travel faster than light, we can teach our minds to exist in multiple places at once." The room was quiet for a moment. Then General Yang said, "That sounds impossible." 3 months ago I would have agreed," Dr. Lee replied. "But Captain Choi has been testing our theories." Captain Min-ji Choi entered the room carrying a small device that looked like a helmet with wires attached. She was a test pilot who volunteered for the most dangerous experiments. Her left arm was in a cast from her last test flight. "Tell them what happened yesterday," Dr. Lee said. Captain Choi set the device on the table. "I put on this quantum interface helmet and focused my mind on Mars. Not thinking about Mars, but actually placing my consciousness there. For 17 seconds I was simultaneously here on Earth and standing on the surface of Mars." "That is impossible," said Commander Sung. "Our recording devices confirm it," Dr. Lee said. Captain Choi's brainwaves showed that she was receiving sensory information from 2 places at once. More importantly, she was able to manipulate objects on Mars using only her thoughts. Director Kim felt her heart rate increase. "Are you saying we can teleport?" "Not exactly teleport," Dr. Lee explained. "We call it quantum resonance translation. Instead of moving through space, we convince space that we are already where we want to be. The universe adjusts reality to match our quantum state." Dr. Choi added, "The beauty of this technology is that it uses human creativity and intuition. Alien technology relies on precise calculations and predictable patterns. Our quantum drives work best when the pilot makes unexpected choices and thinks in ways that mathematics cannot predict." Admiral Park stood up slowly. "How fast can we travel using this method?" Captain Choi smiled. Yesterday, I translated the test ship Soul's Promise from Earth orbit to Jupiter and back in less than 1 minute. The alien said it would take us 800 years to develop faster-than-light travel. We just did it in 5 years, and our method is faster than anything they showed us. The room erupted in excited voices. General Yang was asking about military applications. Commander Sung wanted to know about building bigger ships. Dr. Choi was explaining the energy requirements. Director Kim raised her hand for silence. Dr. Lee, what else have you discovered? Engineer Bayek has developed something equally important, Dr. Lee said. Engineer Woojin Bayek entered the room carrying a tablet. He was a quiet man who spent most of his time building things that other people thought were impossible. I have been working on the adaptive combat protocol, Beck said. Traditional weapons and defenses follow predictable patterns. You aim at a target, you fire, you hit or miss. Alien weapons are very advanced, but they still follow these basic rules. He activated his tablet, showing a video of a test battle between human and simulated alien ships. Our protocol learns from each attack and changes our defensive and offensive systems in real time. But more than that, it incorporates human unpredictability into every decision. Where alien computers calculate the most efficient solution, our system deliberately chooses unexpected options. The video showed a small human ship dodging weapons that should have been impossible to avoid. The key is that humans are comfortable with chaos. Beck continued. We have evolved to make quick decisions with incomplete information. Alien species that have been stable for thousands of years have lost this ability. They cannot adapt to truly random events. Director Kim was beginning to understand the scope of what her teams had accomplished. So we have faster-than-light travel and adaptive combat systems. What else? Intelligence Officer So Young-han stepped forward with a grim expression. Director, we need to discuss what we have learned about the Galactic Council. Han activated a large display that showed intercepted alien communications. The text was translated into Korean, but the original alien languages scrolled alongside. We have been monitoring Council communications for 2 years, Han said. What we discovered is disturbing. The Council does not just ignore primitive species. They actively suppress any species that shows rapid advancement. Admiral Park sat up straighter. What do you mean? 23 years ago, a species called the Aquilon developed faster-than-light communication. The Council classified them as potentially dangerous and destroyed their home world. 15 years ago, the Lithic Collective created self-replicating construction machines. Their entire civilization was pacified by Council forces. The room became very quiet. Director Kim felt cold despite the warm air. How many species have they destroyed? She asked. Our best estimate is 47 civilizations in the past 1,000 years, Han replied. Any species that advances too quickly or develops technology that the Council considers threatening is eliminated. General Yang slammed his fist on the table. They are not peacekeepers. They are conquerors who destroy competition. It gets worse, Han continued. We intercepted a classified Council assessment of Earth. They have moved our status from primitive stable to primitive monitored. In 18 months, if we continue our current rate of advancement, they will classify us as potentially dangerous, Dr. Choi asked. What happens to species that are classified as potentially dangerous? Complete sterilization, Han said simply. They destroy all technology and reduce the population to pre-industrial levels. Sometimes they destroy the entire planet. The room was silent for a long moment. Finally, Admiral Park spoke. How long do we have? Based on their previous actions, approximately 2 years before they decide to act against us, Han replied. Director Kim stood up and walked to the window that looked out over the shipyards. Hundreds of ships were under construction, using human technology that no alien species had ever seen before. Then we have 2 years to prove that humanity cannot be ignored or eliminated, she said. Dr. Lee, how quickly can we build a fleet using your quantum technology? The drives are ready for installation now, Dr. Lee replied. Each ship takes about 6 months to build using our new construction methods. Engineer Bayek, how many ships do we need to face Council forces? Beck consulted his tablet. Based on their previous military actions, they typically send 60 to 70 ships to pacify a dangerous species. With our adaptive systems, I estimate 12 human ships could defeat that force. 12 ships against 70, General Yang said. Admiral Taemin Song stood on the bridge of the HSV Incheon's Fury. watching Earth grow smaller through the main display. He was 53 years old, a veteran of the Earth Space Force and Admiral Park's former second-in-command. But today he carried a responsibility that no human in history had ever faced. Behind him, Captain Ji-hoon Park, Admiral Kyung-min Park's son, monitored the ship's quantum systems. The younger Park had spent the last 2 years learning to interface with technology that seemed like magic, even to the people who built it. "Admiral," Captain Park said, "all ships are reporting ready for quantum translation." Looked at the tactical display that showed the 12 ships of the first human expeditionary fleet. Each ship represented years of work and the hopes of everyone on Earth. More than that, each ship carried technology that proved human creativity could overcome any obstacle. The HSV Incheon's Fury served as the flagship. It was sleek and powerful, built around a quantum resonance drive that could move the ship across the galaxy in moments. Its weapons were designed by Engineer Beck to adapt and learn from each battle. The HSV Busan's Defiance was the fleet's heavy assault vessel. Captain Myung-soo commanded it with a crew trained to turn impossible odds into victory. The ship's plasma weapons could cut through any known armor, and its shields could absorb energy attacks and redirect them back at enemies. The HSV Gwangju's Hope served as both hospital ship and research vessel. Dr. Yoon-jin Yu, the fleet's xenobiologist, had equipped it with universal translation protocols that could decode any alien language in real time. If they encountered new species, this ship would help them communicate. The HSV Ulsan's Might was the engineering vessel, commanded by Captain Young-suk Kim. It could repair and modify other ships during battle, turning damaged vessels into fighting machines again within hours. Its construction systems could build new weapons and defenses using materials found in space. The HSV Suwon's shield specialized in defense. Its experimental barrier technology could protect other ships in the fleet, creating energy fields that blocked attacks while allowing human weapons to pass through. The Fast Attack Squadron consisted of 6 smaller ships led by Captain Dong-hyun Lim. These vessels were built for speed and surprise attacks. They could quantum translate in and out of battle zones faster than alien sensors could track them. "Dr. Yu," Admiral Song said, "are your translation protocols ready?" Dr. Yu looked up from her station on the bridge. She was a small woman with sharp eyes who had learned 17 alien languages in the past 3 years. "Yes, Admiral. We can communicate with any known Council species. More importantly, we can intercept and decode their military communications." "Lieutenant Commander Shin," Song continued, "status of the quantum interface systems?" Lieutenant Commander Jaemin Shin was young, barely 25, but he could link his mind directly with the ship's computer systems. When he interfaced with the quantum drives, human intuition became part of the ship's navigation. When he linked with the weapons, human creativity guided every shot. "All systems optimal, Admiral," Shin replied. "The quantum field is stable, and I can feel the path to Nexus Prime clearly." Song nodded and activated the fleet communication system. "All ships, this is Admiral Song. In a few moments, we will quantum translate to the Nexus Prime system. Our mission is simple but dangerous. We will show the Galactic Council that humanity cannot be ignored, suppressed, or destroyed." He paused, looking at the faces of his crew. They were young and old, men and women, scientists and soldiers. But they all shared one thing. They refused to accept that humanity was inferior to anyone in the galaxy. "The Council thinks we are primitive because we are young," Song continued. "They think we are weak because we fight among ourselves. They think we are stupid because we take risks that more advanced species would never consider. Today we show them that they are wrong about all of these things." Captain Park activated the quantum drive interface. "Admiral, we are ready for translation. Dr. Yu, begin monitoring Council communications as soon as we arrive," Song ordered. "Lieutenant Commander Shin, link with the fleet network and prepare for immediate combat. All ships, translate on my mark." Song took a deep breath. In a few seconds, 12 human ships would appear in the most heavily defended system in the galaxy. If their technology failed, if their tactics were wrong, if the Council was more powerful than they estimated, the fleet would be destroyed and Earth would be defenseless, Mark, Song said. Reality twisted around the fleet. For a moment that felt like forever. The ships existed everywhere and nowhere at once. Then space stabilized, and they were in the Nexus Prime system. "Translation complete," Captain Park reported. All ships accounted for. We are 2 million kilometers from Nexus Prime Station. Impossible, said Commander Ho-Jin Kwan from the tactical station. Admiral, we have achieved undetected faster-than-light travel to their capital system. Their sensors show no sign that they detected our arrival. Dr. Yu's station erupted with activity. Admiral, I am intercepting massive council communications. They are completely surprised. They detected no quantum signature, no energy buildup, no warning that we were coming. Song allowed himself a small smile. Dr. Lee had been right. Human quantum technology worked differently than anything the aliens had ever seen. What are they saying? Song asked. The station commander is demanding explanations from his sensor operators, Dr. Yu translated. They cannot understand how we traveled faster than light without being detected. Their technology should have sensed us coming from hundreds of light years away. Suddenly, alarms began sounding throughout the fleet. Admiral, Captain Park called out. Massive energy signatures approaching. 63 alien vessels translating into the system. The main display showed ships appearing around them. Some were crystalline vessels that sparkled with inner light. Others looked like living creatures with metal skin. A few seemed to be made of pure energy contained in geometric shapes. Fleet Admiral Korthak of the Hegemony Guard is hailing us, Dr. Yu reported. Put him on screen, Song ordered. The display showed an alien that looked like a cross between a shark and a spider. Its teeth were metal, and its 8 arms ended in claws that sparked with electricity. When it spoke, its voice was like grinding metal. Humans, Korthak said, you have violated council space and threatened the capital system. You will surrender immediately or be destroyed. Admiral Song stood up from his command chair. Fleet Admiral Korthak, I am Admiral Taemin Song of the Terran Defense Force. We are here to address the Galactic Council regarding your plans to destroy humanity. Korthak's metal teeth gleamed. Your pathetic species was given clear warnings to remain in your system. By coming here, you have proven that you are too dangerous to be allowed to survive. Surrender now and your deaths will be quick. I'm afraid we cannot do that, Song replied calmly. Lieutenant Commander Shin, are you linked with the fleet network? Yes, Admiral, Shin said. His eyes were closed and his hands moved over controls that responded to his thoughts. I can feel all 12 ships as if they were parts of my own body. Dr. Yu, can you access their communication network? Already done, Admiral, she replied with a grin. Their security protocols assume that only council species can quantum interface with their systems. They never considered that a primitive species might have quantum-capable minds. Korthak's image flickered with anger. Enough, all ships, attack formation. Show these primitives the power of the council. The alien fleet moved into a pattern that Song recognized from Intelligence Officer Han's reports. It was the same formation they used to destroy every other species that challenged them. Overwhelming firepower from multiple directions, with no escape route for the enemy. All ships, Song broadcast to his fleet. Execute Sol Protocol. What happened next would have been impossible for any other species in the galaxy. Instead of trying to fight the alien formation directly, the human ships scattered in completely random directions. To alien sensors, it looked like panic. To human crews, it was the beginning of a carefully planned chaos. The aliens opened fire with weapons that could crack planets. Beams of pure energy lanced through space where the human ships had been moments before. But the human ships were no longer there. Quantum translation complete, Captain Park reported. All ships have micro-jumped to random positions throughout the battle zone. Lieutenant Commander Shin's eyes snapped open. Admiral, I have synchronized all ship movements with the alien fire patterns. I can predict where they will shoot before they fire. Execute Busan Gambit, Song ordered. Captain O's voice came over the communication system. This is Busan's defiance. We are taking heavy fire and losing systems. Requesting immediate assistance. To the aliens, it looked like the human ships were being destroyed one by one. Korthak's tactical display showed the Busan's defiance erupting in flames and debris. One down, Korthak announced to his fleet. Continue attack pattern. Eliminate the remaining primitives. But the explosion had been carefully staged. While alien sensors tracked the debris, the real Busan's defiance quantum translated directly into the center of the alien formation. Surprise, Captain O announced as his ship's plasma cannons opened fire from point-blank range. The alien fleet had never faced an enemy that could appear. The Great Council Chamber on Nexus Prime had seen many historic moments over 40,000 years, but never anything like this. Where once only the 12 members of the Galactic Council sat in judgment of other species, now the chamber held representatives from over 60 civilizations. The balance of power in the galaxy had shifted in a single day. Admiral Song stood beside the quantum communication platform that had made this gathering possible. Around him were the leaders of species that the Council had tried to destroy or suppress. Deep current of the Aquilon floated in a tank of specially prepared water, his blue skin shimmering with patterns that showed his thoughts. Harmony 7 of the Lithic Collective appeared as a walking crystal formation that sparkled with inner light. "The Council will see you now," announced Guide Morthek, the same alien who had escorted Admiral Park to his humiliation 5 years ago. But now Morthek's voice carried no arrogance, only fear. Admiral Park, older but carrying himself with new confidence, led the delegation into the chamber. Behind him walked Dr. Yunjin Yu, whose translation protocols had made communication between species possible. Lieutenant Commander Shin followed, his eyes still faintly glowing from his connection to the quantum networks that linked the galaxy. The council members sat on their platforms, but they no longer seemed impressive. Councillor Veltharian's crystal body was dim, its light pattern showing uncertainty and fear. The Threnody swarm clicked nervously, their hive mind struggling to process the rapid changes. High Arbiter Morden of the Zephyrians flickered like a candle in the wind. "Council members," Admiral Park said, his voice carrying clearly through the vast chamber. "5 years ago I stood in this room as a supplicant. I begged you to recognize humanity as worthy of joining your galactic community. You laughed and dismissed us as primitive." He gestured toward the assembled representatives of dozens of species. "Today I return not as a supplicant, but as a representative of the Free Galactic Alliance. We are here to offer you the chance to join us." Councillor Veltharian's crystal form flashed with angry light. "Join you? We are the Galactic Council. We have maintained peace and order for 40,000 years. Deep Current's tank bubbled as he spoke, his words flowing like water. "Peace for whom, Councillor? You destroyed my homeworld when we developed faster-than-light communication. You scattered my people across hidden colonies for the crime of advancing too quickly," Harmony 7 added, his voice like singing crystal. "The Lithic Collective remembers when you sterilized our worlds because our self-replicating machines threatened your control. We have spent 15 years rebuilding in secret, waiting for this day." The Threnody swarm clicked together before speaking in unison. "We do not understand. These species were classified as extinct. Our records show complete pacification." Dr. Yu stepped forward, her tablet displaying records that had been collected from across the galaxy. "Your records show what you wanted to believe, counselors. But life is persistent. When you destroy a homeworld, survivors escape to other planets. When you suppress a civilization, they adapt and hide. When you try to control advancement, innovation finds a way." She activated her tablet, projecting images into the air above the chamber. "The Aquilon built underwater cities on ocean worlds you never thought to explore. The Lithic Collective transferred their consciousness into quantum computers too small for your sensors to detect. The Spiral Dancers learned to live in pocket dimensions between normal space. More images appeared showing hidden fleets, secret colonies, and technologies that the Council had never imagined possible. Each species you tried to destroy became stronger," Dr. Yu continued. "Each civilization you suppressed learned to think in ways you could not predict. And when humanity developed quantum communication networks, we were able to contact them all." High Arbiter Mordoon's energy form pulsed with confusion. "But this is chaos. Without control, without guidance, these species will destroy themselves. They will fight wars that tear apart star systems. They will develop weapons that threaten the stability of the galaxy." Admiral Song smiled, remembering similar arguments from his own people. "Counselor, humans have been saying the same things about freedom for thousands of years. Yes, free species sometimes fight. Yes, they sometimes make mistakes. But they also create, explore, and achieve things that controlled species never can." Lieutenant Commander Shin spoke up, his voice carrying the authority of someone who had seen the galaxy through quantum-enhanced perception. "Counselors, your method of maintaining peace was stagnation. You created a galaxy where nothing changed, nothing grew, nothing improved. You called it stability, but it was really just a very slow death." Captain Su-Jin Lee of the HSV Soul's Promise entered the chamber, escorting a group of beings that made even the experienced council members gasp in surprise. "Counselors," Captain Lee announced, "I would like you to meet representatives of the Forgotten Remnants. The beings that followed her were unlike anything in the Council's records. Some appeared to be made of living light that moved independently of any energy source. Others looked like geometric patterns that existed in more than 3 dimensions. A few seemed to phase in and out of reality itself. "We are the Vexnari," said one of the light beings, its voice coming from everywhere at once. "We are the first species that your council tried to destroy, over 39,000 years ago. We have been watching you ever since." The council chamber fell silent. Councillor Veltharian's crystal body went completely dark for a moment before flickering back to life. "Impossible," he whispered. "The Vexnari were the first species we encountered when we began building the council. They were destroyed in the Foundation Wars." "We were not destroyed," the Vexnari replied. "We learned to exist between moments in the spaces where your sensors could not reach. We watched as you repeated with other species what you tried to do to us. We waited for someone to challenge your authority." Another of the forgotten remnants stepped forward, its impossible geometry making it difficult to look at directly. "We are the Null Theta. You erased us from your records when we developed technology that could manipulate the basic laws of physics. We have been rebuilding reality itself in hidden dimensions." A third being, this one appearing as a constantly shifting pattern of existence, spoke in harmonies that touched the mind directly. "We are the first echo. We achieved transcendence before your species ever left their homeworlds. You tried to pacify us because you feared what we had become. We simply stepped outside the universe until you were ready to learn." Admiral Park walked to the center of the chamber, where the Council's judgment platform had stood for 40,000 years. "Councilors, do you understand what you are seeing? Every species you tried to control, suppress, or destroy has survived. Every civilization you thought you had eliminated has grown stronger in hiding. And now, united by human communication networks, they are all here." Dr. Il-sung Nam, the fleet's diplomatic advisor, activated a holographic display that showed the galaxy in real time. Red dots appeared throughout the spiral arms, each one representing a fleet of ships from the Free Galactic Alliance. "In the past 6 hours," Dr. Nam said, "the Alliance has reclaimed over 300 star systems. Former Council colonies are declaring independence. Suppressed species are emerging from hiding to claim their freedom. The galactic order that you maintained through fear is ending." Councillor Veltharian rose from his platform, his crystal body blazing with desperate light. "This is madness. Without the Council's guidance, the galaxy will tear itself apart. Species will fight over resources, develop weapons of mass destruction, spread chaos across the stars." "Some will," Admiral Park admitted. "Freedom includes the freedom to make mistakes, but it also includes the freedom to grow, to explore, to become something greater than what you are today." He gestured toward the assembled representatives. "Look around you, Counselor. The Aquilon developed faster-than-light communication not to conquer other species, but to share knowledge. The Lithic Collective created self-replicating machines not to build weapons, but to terraform dead worlds into gardens. The Spiral Dancers learned to manipulate gravity not to destroy enemies, but to explore the deepest mysteries of space. Deep Current's pattern shifted to show approval. Each species brings unique gifts to the galaxy. The Council's error was believing that diversity was dangerous. But diversity is strength. The Threnody swarm clicked in agitation. "How can this alliance maintain order? How will you prevent wars between member species? How will you ensure that dangerous technologies are not misused?" Lieutenant Commander Shin answered, his quantum-enhanced awareness allowing him to see connections that others missed. "The same way humanity learned to cooperate despite our differences, through communication, negotiation, and the understanding that we are stronger together than apart." He activated his quantum interface, and suddenly every being in the chamber could feel a faint connection to every other being. It was not control or domination, but awareness. The knowledge that they were all part of something larger. "This is what human quantum technology makes possible," Shin explained. "Not the ability to control other minds, but the ability to understand them. When you can feel what another being feels, it becomes very difficult." The space around Nexus Prime had become a battlefield like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. 200 council ships surrounded the 12 human vessels, their weapons charged and ready to end humanity's brief moment of defiance. But Admiral Song had not come this far to surrender. "Lieutenant Commander Shin," Song said calmly, "how many alien communication networks can you access simultaneously?" Shin's eyes were closed, his consciousness expanded through the quantum field that connected all things. All of them, Admiral. Their security assumes that only Council species can quantum interface. They never imagined that a species they called primitive could hack their entire fleet. Dr. Yu, what are the aliens saying to each other? Dr. Yu listened to the flood of intercepted communications. They are confused and angry, Admiral. Fleet Admiral Korthak is trying to explain how 12 human ships defeated 63 Council vessels. The other fleet commanders think he is lying or incompetent. On the main display, the massive alien fleet formed attack formations that had conquered hundreds of worlds. Crystal ships hummed with deadly energy. Living vessels pulsed with biological weapons. Energy beings prepared to unleash forces that could burn through asteroid fields. Admiral Vornak of the 3rd Battle Group is demanding that we surrender, Dr. Yu translated. He says they will give us 10 minutes to evacuate to escape pods before they destroy our ships. Admiral Song activated the fleet communication system. All ships, this is Song. Prepare for Operation Thunder. Operation Thunder was something that Engineer Bayek had designed but never tested. It required perfect coordination between all 12 ships and relied on the quantum abilities that made human technology unique. Admiral, Captain Young-Suk Kim called from the HSV Olsen's Might. My engineering systems are ready. We can execute Thunder, but if it fails, we die fighting instead of living as slaves, Song replied. That is a trade any human would make. The alien fleet began moving into attack position. Their formation was mathematically perfect, designed to deliver maximum firepower while protecting their most important vessels. It was the same strategy that had worked for 40,000 years. They are hailing us again, Dr. Yu said. Put them on screen. Admiral Vornak appeared on the display. He looked like a giant metal crab with too many arms and eyes that glowed like stars. When he spoke, his voice sounded like an earthquake. Humans, your time is up. We have studied the destruction of our scout fleet. Your tactics were clever, but they will not work against a prepared enemy. Surrender now or be destroyed. Admiral Vornak, Song replied. Before you attack, I have a question. In 40,000 years of Council history, has any species ever defeated your forces in open battle? Vornak's eyes dimmed slightly. No species has been foolish enough to challenge the full might of the Council. Then today you will see something new, Song said. Dr. Yu, show them what we discovered about their previous battles. The main display changed to show recordings that Intelligence Officer Han had collected from intercepted Council data. Video after video showed the same pattern. Council fleets arriving at primitive worlds demanding surrender, and then systematically destroying any resistance. 47 species, Dr. Yu said, her voice carrying across all communication channels. The Aquilon, who developed faster-than-light communication. The Lithic Collective, who created self-replicating machines. The Spiral Dancers, who learned to manipulate gravity. All destroyed because they advanced too quickly. The alien fleet hesitated. Some of the smaller ships began moving away from the main formation. You are not peacekeepers, Song continued. You are oppressors who destroy anyone who might challenge your power. But you made one mistake. You told humanity that we were not worthy of the stars. Enough, Vornax roared. All ships open fire. Destroy these primitives! 200 alien ships unleashed weapons that could sterilize planets. Beams of pure energy, gravity bombs, quantum disruptors, and biological weapons filled the space where the human fleet had been. But the human ships were no longer there. Quantum translation complete, Captain Park reported. All ships have successfully jumped to Phase 2 positions. Lieutenant Commander Shin's eyes snapped open, glowing with the quantum energy that flowed through his mind. Admiral, Operation Thunder is active. I have control of 17 alien vessels. What happened next would be talked about in military academies across the galaxy for thousands of years. Instead of trying to fight the alien fleet directly, the humans had done something unthinkable. They had turned the alien ships against each other. Through quantum interface technology that the Council had declared impossible, Shin had linked his consciousness with the navigation systems of alien vessels throughout the fleet. To the aliens, their ships were simply malfunctioning. To the humans, it was warfare at the quantum level. Admiral, Dr. Yu called out. Massive confusion in the alien fleet. They are firing on each other. They think their computer systems have been infected by some kind of virus. The perfectly organized Council formation fell apart as ship after ship began attacking their allies. Crystal vessels fired on energy beings. Living ships launched biological weapons at their own escorts. In the chaos, the 12 human vessels appeared and disappeared like ghosts, striking when the aliens least expected it. How? Admiral Vornak screamed over the communication channels. How are they controlling our ships? Because, Admiral Song replied, you assumed that technology was about building better machines. Humans learned that technology is about building better partnerships between minds and machines. Captain O's voice came over the fleet channel. Busan's defiance to all ships. We have clear shots on the command vessels, requesting permission to engage. Granted, Song said. Show them what human weapons can do. The HSV Busan's Defiance appeared directly behind Admiral Vornak's flagship. Its plasma cannons had been modified with Engineer Bayek's adaptive technology. Instead of firing simple energy beams, they launched packets of controlled fusion that learned from each shot, becoming more accurate and more powerful. Vornak's shields, designed to stop conventional weapons, were useless against attacks that adapted faster than his computers could compensate. The alien flagship erupted in fire and debris. Impossible, whispered another alien commander over the open channels. No species has technology that advanced. We do not have advanced technology, Song explained as his fleet continued to tear apart the Council forces. We have human technology. There is a difference. Captain Lim's fast attack squadron demonstrated that difference by executing the Songtan maneuver. 6 small ships quantum translated into the enemy formation, but instead of attacking immediately, they released clouds of nanomachines that Engineer Beck had designed to interface with alien systems. Within minutes, 30 more Council ships were under partial human control. Their weapons fired at random targets, their shields collapsed at crucial moments, and their navigation system sent them crashing into each other. This is not battle, said Admiral Kezathril of the Energy Beings. This is madness. No, replied Captain Kim from the HSV Ulsan's Might as her engineering systems rebuilt damaged human ships in real time. This is adaptation. You spent 40,000 years perfecting your weapons. We spent 5 years learning to turn your weapons against you. The alien fleet, which had numbered over 200 ships, was down to fewer than 50 operational vessels. The survivors were scattered and demoralized, unable to understand how their perfect tactics had failed so completely. Admiral Song, came a new voice over the communication system. This is Counselor Veltharian. I am prepared to discuss terms. Now you want to talk, Song replied. Dr. Yu, are you recording everything? Every word, Admiral. The entire galaxy will hear this conversation. Counselor, Song continued, what terms do you offer? Immediate withdrawal from Council space, Veltharian said, his crystalline voice tight with barely controlled fear. Return to your home system. We will reclassify your species as dangerous but contained and establish a monitoring perimeter around your star system. Song looked around his bridge at the crew that had achieved the impossible. Then he looked at the tactical display, where the surviving alien ships waited for his response. Counselor, those terms are not acceptable. What? Veltharian's crystal body flashed with angry light. You are in no position to make demands, human. Actually, Song said with a smile, we are in the perfect position to make demands. Dr. Yu, show the counselor what else we discovered. The communication channels filled with new voices speaking in languages that the council thought they had silenced forever. Dr. Yu had been busy during the battle, using human quantum communication technology to contact species that the Council believed were extinct. Greetings, Council, said a voice like flowing water. This is Deep Current of the Aquilon. Our civilization survived your attempted genocide. We have been waiting in hidden colonies for someone to challenge your tyranny. The Lithic Collective remembers, said another voice like grinding stone. Our self-replicating machines have been building a fleet in the deep void for 15 years. We are ready to reclaim our stolen worlds. More voices joined the conversation. The spiral dancers who had learned to live in pocket dimensions. The cloud shepherds who had hidden their cities in gas.